Until death, failure is only temporary. I recently heard this quote from another creator that I watch and draw inspiration from, and it really sat with me. People are too afraid that what they try, what they do, might end up as a failure. But there is no failure until you can't try again. Think of everything you've ever done in your life. You may have failed at some things, but they were only temporary. You had another chance at redemption. You had another chance to do something better, something else. People that are no longer with us, they don't have that opportunity anymore. They don't have the chance to do something to make a different change because death is what stops us. We all understand that there is no eternal life. People come and go. There is no chance of coming back and living forever, at least as of today. That leaves us with the only one opportunity, and that's to keep moving forward. You think one failure is the end of all. What are you going to do until you die? Not fail, not try, not do anything again? There is no telling when you may pass away, when you may not get another chance. That's why you have to take every chance that you have now. It doesn't matter if that chance leads to failure, because with every action that you have, there is lessons, there is something to be learned, there is progress to be had. If you knew that you would fail 10 times before you would succeed, how fast would you fail? How eager would you be to lose since you knew you were about to win? The great thing about life is that it works the same way. You might fail 7, 8, 20, 25, 30 times, but then you might end up succeeding. What is that success worth to you? Is it worth the failures? Is it worth the time? If not, oh well, great. Close out this video. Don't ever watch another video of mine again. If it doesn't matter how much it costs, how much time it'll take, what it takes on your mental, your physical strength, then go for it. Success is something that only happens when you put actions into it. Think of a math equation. To get a success, you have to have something on the other side. Time times effort equals success. The more time and the more effort you put in, the greater the success will be. If you put in 0 time, you get 0 success. You put in 0 effort, you get 0 success. Put in 1 unit of time and 1 unit of effort, you get 1 success. You know, the math equation works out. The amount of time and the amount of effort that you put in is the amount of success that you'll get. But back to failing. Every time you failed, you might be discouraged. You might be like, okay, maybe it's time to give up. Maybe it's time to throw in the towel. But what if, after this failure, what if that was a success and you didn't know? What if it was a success, you never tried and you never found out, and it could have changed your life? All right, say you did try and it still failed. What if this was a success? You never know. It is just a constant chain of experimenting until you get to success. Each and every single failure, you learn something. Maybe you learned here how to control time, effort, speech, money, connection, and then mind. What if with every single one of these failures, you learned a single lesson? And maybe that one lesson didn't seem like much, but every time it compounded on top of each other, you learned another lesson. It unlocked another lesson, another one, another one. And with all of these combined, it led you to a success. Now, not only did you succeed, you grew as a person with a bunch of new attributes that you never had. What does that mean for you going forward? Now that you succeeded and you know what it takes to win, that's another attribute. You can use that with all of this, and maybe you'll get a failure. But then maybe you get a success, maybe you win. What does winning look like? I don't even know. It looks different for every single person. I know what it looks like for me. Do you know what it looks like for you? Let's imagine a timeline of your life. Let's say you lived 100 years. Congratulations, that's already a success in itself. Say you failed for 75 of those years. You had nothing going for you. You were living paycheck to paycheck. You were living in an apartment that you rented. You didn't have much going on. But something clicked right here when you were 75. And for the last 25 years of your life, you lived however you wanted. You lived great. You were traveling. You owned a yacht. You had a private jet. You were flying here. You knew the president, all this other stuff. Would that be a success or would that be a failure? Now, the answer to that question might vary from person to person, but for me, that is a success. Because no matter what, you took every failure in those 75 years, you pushed it forward, and you got to a success. You still lived a life. You had the opportunity to live life, and for the last 25 years of your life, you lived a lavish life. You lived a life that you could have only dreamt of for the first 75. Now, if you knew this was guaranteed, would you be okay with that? Some people might say, yes, I don't mind waiting till 75 and having 25 years of fantastic life if it takes 75 years. Some people might not be okay with that. They might be like, I don't want to live 75 years living paycheck to paycheck, not having much of, a experiencing life. Some people want to get it right here. Let's say that's where you turn, 40. Some people want it when they're 40. Well, let's go back to our math equation. Time times effort. We're gonna go down in the amount of time, or we wanna go up in the amount of success, you're gonna have to increase the amount of effort that you put in. It's a simple math equation. I'm a math person myself. Math makes sense. If you put less time and you want more success, you're gonna have to put in double the amount of effort to get the same amount of success. It really just comes down to how bad do you want it? When do you want it? What are you gonna do to make sure that you get to where you want to be? Now, I don't know about you guys watching this video, but I'm like right around here. I'm definitely not in the success category, I'm still in this fail category. But that's okay, I'm not giving up. If I knew that I still had this 20 years time to get to a success, I say I wanted it to be by 40, I would just have to go crazy on this effort. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I want you guys to understand. No matter where you are in life, if you have less time, you could put more effort. If you have more time, you could technically put less effort, but why would you do that? If you could make it faster, you could cut down the time, you could increase the success. Why would you do that? It is an opportunity, but not a recommended one. See, the one issue with this chart is that you don't know that you're going to live to 100. Your life timeline could be 50. You might have half of that. So that if you want to live a great and enjoyable, a fruitful life, you have to have the incredible effort. The issue is that we don't know if it's 50, maybe it's 60, maybe it's 40. You don't know. Some people don't even get that chance. They get 20. Some people don't even get any of a chance. Whatever time and whatever opportunity that you're given right now, that's what you have to deal with. You don't know how much time. You can't just be like, all right, give me 20 years. I know I'm going to do it in 20. What if you don't have 20 years? What if you don't have the opportunity to put in that minimal effort over the next 20 years? That's why you need to go all in now. There is no reason to play life in a passive mode. There is no reason to enjoy things in slight and subtle, doses. A little bit here, maybe I'm going to cool off, ease into this, try a little bit of that, dabble. No, why? You don't know if you get the full 100 years. You don't know if you get 50. What if you don't get the chance to ease into some of those things? What if you only get the chance to ease into one? Maybe you could only go full into one. Whatever it is, your opportunity is going to be different from the other person. No two people are going to have the same setup, the same life, the same amount of time to make it succeed. So why would you ever do something passively? Passive route is the route to failure. The one most basic, simple principle is that no one beats death. Death is a certainty for all of us. But with that one certainty of death, that means that there is a certainty of life. Everybody gets a chance, but not everybody's chance is the same. What are you going to do to launch your life towards your dreams?